In today's episode, we bring out Shrewsbury College's finest talent to see if they've got what it takes, and they perform the weld test at Fowler Gilbert. I'm Lee Gilbert. I'm the owner of Fowler Gilbert and a couple of other businesses that we've got going on down here. I'll give you a quick background on me, what we as a firm do, some of the other stuff that we've got going on and some of the future plans. Then obviously we'll go around into the workshop and set about a bit of welding tests. And what we do is 90% of the buildings we produce are for agricultural use. So it's anything from a small building as a workshop all the way through to a massive dairy unit or something like that. The last 10%, 15% perhaps is anything commercial and industrial. So the buildings that you'll see in a minute as we go outside, we've manufactured and built all of these. And it's anything from a small bit of steel work for a house all the way through to your big supermarkets and stuff like that. So a real varied fabrication process that we go through. Hot rolled steelwork, we manufacture everything on site here. We buy it in stock bar, 9 times out of 10. We cut that down to the shape and size that we want, and then we weld everything together here. All the other material that we bolt to it is all generally bought in. We don't really manufacture any of that at the moment, but not to say that we won't in the future. So, like I say, that's a bit about the processes that we go through here. I know you guys are on a bit of a tight time frame, aren't you? So in order to get everything done, I think we'll have a wander out. I'll show you a bit of the bigger site out there and what we get up to and what we've got plans for. And then, like I say, we'll head into the workshop shortly. So if you grab your stuff and we'll have a wander over. Our site, we built that whole site. So we started that from scratch in, I think 2018 we started building that site, which was just basically fields like that over there. So like I say, what we got all goods in, comes in over the weighbridge, comes into this building here, and all the raw steel is then unloaded. So if it's stock, it goes onto the shelves. If it's ready for a job, it stays in the middle of the building. And then basically we'll put it on the saw line, which we'll go past in a minute, that's on the right. So that long stuff you can see in the distance, that's stock bar. And this stuff, this end is cut, ready for to go into the workshop for production. So then on the right here, we've got the saw line now. So all this material here comes in nested. So we'll de-nest that, so we take it out of each other if you like, put it on the saw line, run it through, cut it to the shape or the angle, the length that we want, get stacked up and then into the workshop for production. So then out here, basically, if you look up in the roof of that building there, you'll see there's the big pieces of steel from one side to the other, and then the silver ones going from one bay to the next. They're called purlins. On a lot of your agricultural buildings, they're timber. So we have a massive stock of timber around the place, which are all your purlins and stuff, and your sheeting rails for the sides of the building. All of the boarding is a form of cladding that we use because you need a lot of ventilation on agricultural buildings, so that sort of suits quite nicely to that. And then all other materials that we bolt on generally are delivered out into this yard. All the loading is generally done out here, and we put a big jigsaw together, if you like, and then we send that out on the wagon as a complete kit. So just round the side there, we've got a timber cross cutting facility where we do cut all our own timber as well to length, a little bit like the steel line. That building there is the paint shop. So everything that's fabricated that is going to be painted will go either in here or in there ready for paint, or once it's painted it'll go in there just so it goes off. If it's going for galvanising, then we'll generally bring it out of the workshop and we'll load it straight onto a galvaniser's trailer that we keep here in our yard. But generally it's a good mix of probably 50-50 as to what's painted, what's galv, and that'll have a difference of how the manufacturing process is as well, because if you're sending stuff to a galvanising plant, it's all got to be vented so that when you dip it in the tank it doesn't explode. So that's the paint shop, and we'll go into the workshop. Obviously you've all been around welders before, but watch your eyes. Okay, so what we've got in here now, all the raw material, once it's cut, comes in through that door. It'll either get put on the rack or put here ready for the first part of the process. And the first part really is it goes into that holding pen over there, and that's where we do all of the punching and the drilling. So everything that all the posts that are stood up, they need a series of holes putting in them, because when the rafters are welded and come to, you bolt it all together on site. A bit like a big Meccano set. So all the plates, everything that we cut to shape and size that is going to be welded to the raw material are all made. So there's a complete shopping list of parts made. Each job has got its own pallet or a few pallets of parts depending on the size of the job. And if there's any parts left on the pallet when the job is complete, you know somebody has cocked up because there's something been missed. So the process is, obviously the holes are drilled and done over there, and then it comes back out, and then workshop manager will put it into whatever welding pen that it's going into, and that's where it'll be fabricated. So there'll be a series of fabrication drawings that everyone needs to work from. It's got all the information, it's got everything from what part you're welding on, what measurement at what place, to what angle, what weld that you're putting on. So is it an 8mm fillet weld or whatever it is that you're doing to weld them materials together. It's all welded on in each one of these pens, and then from there it comes out the pen, it goes through its final checks, and then it goes out the end of the building for either paint or galvanised like I mentioned before. So we're going to set up here, so probably split into sort of two groups if you like, one by each set of trestles, an equal amount in each group, and then we'll have a go at welding. I'll get you some bits. Okay, so like I said, what we'll do, we'll cut them up, we'll have a look at what penetration that you've got. Obviously they've all got your names on, as best as we can see, we'll make sure we get it right. We'll ping all the pictures of them over to you guys so you can see if visually whoever won actually did when it comes to the penetration side. So, yeah, so all in all, very good. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Has anybody got any questions?
So in terms of what you guys offer, you've currently got apprentices from another training provider.
Yeah.
And would you be looking to take further apprentices in the future?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. That's part and parcel of why we're doing what we're doing, really. What we're looking for now is the next batch of people to join us, join the team, that all share the same sort of vision going forward. We're a growing company, we always have been, we always will be, hopefully. So that's what we want to do, we want to carry on growing with the right people. So for me, yes, your qualifications are very important, but it's your attitude towards work, and it is how you fit in with us as a group here. Because generally when people start with us, we generally keep everybody, as in, you know, we haven't got a high turnover of staff, people enjoy it here, we're a nice firm, we reward everybody well for what they do. So, and I always think you get back what you put in. So
the other thing I want to follow that with, so the job roles with you guys, so it's not just the welding, obviously there's on-site installation, so you could progress from one role into another.
Absolutely, yeah. So we've had, classic example, we've got a young man that joined us probably about 6 or 7 years ago. He comes straight from school. He started sweeping the floors in the workshop, and within a couple of years he was running his own welding pen. From there he progressed, he moved out onto the yard, he's done loading, he can do every part of the process that we do. He's done a bit of time on site, he's done his wagon test, he's a class 1 driver as well for us now as a relief, as and when we've got stuff going out. And he's gone from starting at, like I say, 16 years old, just left school, hadn't got a clue, couldn't use a tape measure, all the way through to one of the best guys we've got in the bank now. But yes, you can progress. If that's what you want to do, you can just keep going here. So, you know, and it's not just outside, there's office jobs as well. You know, we've got apprentices in the CAD office doing all the drawing and all the Tekla modelling of all the buildings that we do. Clayton, as an example. Clayton joined us and he just started as admin staff in the office, progressed through to doing all the purchase ledger, and now is obviously chief filmmaker. But yeah, so no, we're all for progressing everybody's career, so it's not just I don't want anyone to think it's a dead-end job to come and stand doing one thing for the rest of their life. There are opportunities here with us. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, no, thanks for coming. Okay, speaking of opportunities, we are taking on, so if you are interested in a career in sales, groundworks, welding, drawing, office, you name it, please apply to Tony at Fowler Gilbert. Send your CV in, we'll review it and get in touch with you and let you know. We're going to move, next video we're going on to a look back at Trent and the history, Mark Taylor, the previous owner, and how we come about acquiring and getting involved. But if you like what you've seen today, please hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and we'll catch you next time. Cheers.